Commander Ryan Hawley had been walking for 3 days across the endless red dunes of Kepler 442b. His ship lay in ruins somewhere behind him, a smoking crater that the sandstorms had already begun to claim. His water had run out 12 hours ago. His survival suit's recycling system had failed on day 2. Now the twin suns beat down on him like hammers against an anvil, and every breath felt like inhaling fire. The colony was supposed to be 40 kilometers north. He had the coordinates memorized, burned into his brain alongside the faces of his crew, all dead now. The crash had seen to that. Ryan was the only one who had managed to crawl free before the fuel cells erupted. His legs trembled with each step. The sand shifted beneath his boots, making every footfall an act of pure will. His tongue had swollen in his mouth, thick and useless. He had stopped sweating hours ago. That was a bad sign. That meant his body was shutting down, conserving what little moisture remained for vital organs. Ryan crested another dune and stopped. There, half buried in the crimson sand, something gleamed. He blinked hard, certain it was a mirage. The heat played tricks on dying men. But as he staggered closer, the object remained solid and real. It was a horn, perhaps a meter long, curved like a crescent moon. The surface was smooth and dark, almost black, with veins of silver running through it like frozen lightning. It looked ancient, worn by centuries of wind and sand, yet somehow untouched by decay. Ryan fell to his knees beside it. With shaking hands, he brushed away the sand that clung to its surface. The horn was hollow, he realized, and when he lifted it, tipping it toward the merciless suns, he saw liquid inside. Water. Impossible, beautiful water. His rational mind screamed warnings. Unknown alien artifact. Potential contamination. Biological hazards. But his body had moved beyond rationality. His body knew only thirst. Only the desperate animal need to drink or die. Ryan pressed the horn to his cracked lips and tilted it back. The water was cold, shockingly cold, like nothing he had ever tasted. It poured into his mouth, down his throat, filling him with a chill that spread through his entire body. He drank deeply, desperately, until the horn was empty, and he collapsed backward onto the sand, gasping. For a moment, there was only relief. Pure, overwhelming relief. Then the voice came. It did not speak through his ears, but directly into his mind, a hiss like air escaping from a damaged hull seal. The sound was ancient and angry, carrying with it the weight of vast time and terrible patience. You took my 50 years. Ryan scrambled backward, the empty horn falling from his hands. His eyes darted across the desert, searching for the speaker, but there was nothing. Only sand and rock and the pitiless sky. Who's there? His voice came out as a rasp, barely audible. You drank what was mine. 50 years I stored within that vessel. 50 years of life, drop by precious drop. And you consumed it all in your moment of weakness. The voice seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. Ryan's hand went to his sidearm, still holstered at his hip, though he had no idea what he would shoot at. I didn't know, he managed. I was dying. I needed water. Water, the word dripped with contempt. You thought it was water. It was life itself, human. My life. And now you will carry the burden of what you have stolen. The temperature dropped suddenly. Ryan felt frost forming on his suit, saw his breath misting in the air despite the twin suns overhead. The sand around the horn began to shift and swirl, rising in a spiral that took form and shape. The being that emerged was unlike anything in the Federation's xenobiology databases. It stood 3 meters tall, its body composed of what looked like living stone, veined with the same silver that had decorated the horn. Its face was vaguely humanoid, but stretched and angular, with eyes that glowed like distant stars. It wore no clothing, needed no protection from the elements. It was the elements, in a way ancient as the desert itself, patient as erosion. "My name is Keth," it said, and now the voice matched the form, resonating through the air like distant thunder. "For 300 of your years, I have walked this world. 50 years ago, I sensed my end approaching. So I preserved what remained of my time, sealed it away in the horn, hidden it where none would find it until I was ready to reclaim it." Ryan's mind reeled. 50 years. The water had been 50 years of an alien being's life, somehow concentrated and preserved. And he had drunk it all. "I didn't mean to." Intent is irrelevant. Keth moved closer, each step causing small tremors in the sand. "The deed is done. My 50 years now flow through your veins, human. They are part of you, bound to you, until your own end comes." Ryan stood on shaking legs, his hand still on his weapon, though he knew it would be useless. "And what happens now? Do you kill me? Take them back?" Keth tilted its head, studying him with those star-bright eyes. For a long moment, there was only silence and the whisper of wind across the dunes. "I cannot reclaim what has been integrated into your being," Keth said finally. "To do so would destroy you, and my years would be lost regardless. No, human. You will live with what you have taken. But know this, those 50 years are mine, and they will remember their true owner." The alien raised one massive hand, and Ryan felt something shift inside him. It was not painful, exactly, but deeply uncomfortable, like having a foreign object lodged beneath his skin. He gasped and fell to one knee. "You carry my memories now," Keth said. "My experiences. My purpose. And when your natural end approaches, whenever that may be, my years will return to me. I will wait, as I have always waited. Time means little to one such as me. What purpose?" Ryan forced the words out through gritted teeth. "What memories? You will discover them in time. Perhaps they will make you wiser. Perhaps they will only make you mad. Either way, they are yours now, as surely as they are mine." The cold began to recede. Keth's form started to fade, breaking apart into streams of sand that the wind carried away. "Wait," Ryan called out. "The colony. How far?" The voice came one final time, already distant, already fading. 20 kilometers northeast. You will make it now, human. My 50 years will sustain you. But remember, you do not own them. You are merely their keeper." Then Keth was gone, leaving Ryan alone with the empty horn and the weight of stolen time pressing against his soul. He stood slowly, testing his body. The water, no. The life had done more than quench his thirst. He felt strong, stronger than he had in years. His muscles no longer trembled. His vision was sharp and clear. And beneath it all, like a current running deep, he sensed something vast and patient, watching from within. Ryan picked up the horn. He could not leave it here. It seemed wrong, somehow, to abandon it in the sand. He secured it to his pack and checked his compass. Northeast, 20 kilometers. He began walking. As the kilometers passed, he became aware of them, the memories. They came in fragments at first, flashes of alien landscapes, of stone cities beneath different stars, of creatures long extinct and civilizations turned to dust. He saw through Keth's eyes, felt with Keth's senses, understood with a mind that measured time in centuries rather than years. It should have driven him mad. Perhaps it still would. But for now, Ryan simply walked, carrying his burden, carrying someone else's 50 years like a debt he could never repay. When he finally saw the lights of the colony cresting the horizon, he felt both relief and a strange sadness. He would survive. He would file his report, return to Earth, continue his life. But it would never truly be his life again. Not entirely. Somewhere, in a desert on an alien world, Keth waited, patient, eternal, knowing that one day those 50 years would return home. And Ryan walked on, keeper of time that was not his own, living a life that belonged to two beings now, bound together by thirst and survival and the cruel chances of a hostile universe. The stars watched overhead, indifferent as always to the strange fates of those who traveled beneath them.